Dream machine. Dicom HL7 I18 in the snap. We're building the future, never looking back.
Welcome to Imaging Informatics Unplugged. And before we begin, I have a quick question for you. Do you remember Shazam? No, not that Shazam with Zachary Levi. This one. Yes, that Shazam. The little app that turned every one of us into the person frozen in a grocery store, your phone held up to the ceiling, communicating with the speakers, praying that it catches the track before the chorus ends. And of course, inevitably, the exact moment you think you've got it, the track flips to something else. It's like it saw you coming and it left on purpose. But here's the question that not many people ask when they're standing there trying to find the hidden speaker. Does Shazam actually hear the song? And the answer is no, not even a little. It doesn't hear anything. All it does is it sees math. Cold, indifferent, brutally efficient math. And here's the part that should make all of us in the imaging informatics community perk up. That exact trick, the one your phone pulls to catch a song over grocery store noise, is the same trick that turns a screaming magnet into an MRI. It's your Doppler studies. It's your reconstruction pipeline. The things Shazam does in a bar is the same thing that your scanner does every single day. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's pull this apart. Music, which feels emotional and rich and full of meaning, is, at least at the level your phone cares about, just air pressure flopping around over time. It's a waveform, a wiggly line that looks like it's had a rough day. Now, Shazam takes that mess and runs it through something called the Fast Fourier Transform, or FFT, because mathematicians hate long names, but they love intimidating acronyms. FFT takes the chaotic waveform and breaks it apart into its ingredients. Not lyrics and not melody the way that you would think about it, frequencies, just pure tones, the mathematical DNA of the sound. It's like taking a chord on a guitar and saying, cool story, but show me every note hiding inside this thing. And it does it instantly, ruthlessly, with no sentimentality about your favorite song. So hold on to that move, breaking a signal into its frequencies, because in about 90 seconds, it's going to reconstruct a human body for you. And that fast part of the Fast Fourier Transform matters more than it sounds, because this idea is old, like powdered wig, candlelight, possibly tuberculosis old. Joseph Fourier, with his cherubic cheeks here, was trying to understand how heat moves through objects in the early 1800s, which is already a weird origin story for your ability to identify a Radiohead song in a grocery store. His insight was that complex patterns could be built out of simple waves, sines and cosines, elegant, simple, slightly smug little waves. And around the same era, Carl Gauss was quietly being better than everyone else at everything and had already stumbled onto the same computational trick. The man treated advanced mathematics like a casual hobby, the way that some people knit. And here's the problem. They had the math, but they didn't have the speed. They didn't have the computational power. Doing this decomposition by hand was painfully slow. You could finish a novel in the time it takes to process one signal. That slow. Then in 1965, James Cooley and John Tukey show up and they basically say, well, what if we use some of these computers that are being introduced? And what if we didn't do this the hard way? And suddenly the same operation goes from impractical to lightning fast, orders of magnitude, not a tweak, a transformation. And that's the moment this jumps from interesting math to your phone casually flexing on you in public. And not coincidentally, the moment medical imaging as we know it becomes possible. Because here's where the grocery store trick clocks in for real. Take MRI, which if you've ever looked at it, feels like a machine that should be able to open up portals. MRI does not capture images the way a camera does. It collects raw frequency in something called K-space. And if you ever looked at K-space, it looks like nonsense static, the visual equivalent of someone clearing their throat. There's no image there, or at least not in any way that your brain would be able to recognize an image until you apply FFT. FFT takes the frequency domain data and reconstructs it into a spatial image, actual anatomy, structures, everything that you care about clinically. With no FFT, no MRI image. You don't get a blur. You get absolutely nothing. Just an expensive magnet that's not giving you any answers. Ultrasound shows up to the party in a different outfit. In Doppler, you're looking at shifts in frequency caused by moving blood. Tiny changes, subtle stuff. FFT breaks those shifts apart and turns them into velocity, direction, speed, flow. Suddenly, you're not just seeing vessels, you're watching physiology happen in real time. And this is where the brain does a double take, because Shazam, MRI, and Doppler ultrasound are widely different experiences. One will find you a song, one diagnoses a disease. And underneath all of them, it's the same move. Take apart a complex signal, break it into frequencies, extract meaning, and that's it. No magic, just a very disciplined way of asking, what is this really made of? So the next time you're chasing a song with Shazam and you miss it by half a second, try to remember that the same mathematical machinery that almost caught that song is also quietly turning raw signal into medical insight. Shazam finds songs, FFT finds structure. And in medical imaging, that structure is the difference between guessing and knowing. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe.